Good morning. Over the weekend, Robert and I took a little vacay up at our cabin in the Sequoias. And on Sunday, we did a hike in the Mineral King Valley. It was spectacular. I'm going to show you some photos and video. And the reason it was so spectacular is because it's fall, it's very cold at night. It was like below freezing. So there was ice crystals in the creeks and on the rivers, and it was just beautiful and bracing too. But I thought that before I show you the pictures, I would have Robert tell you a little bit about the Mineral King Valley. And here's a fun fact. The hike that we took on Sunday was our 50th anniversary hike. Now, it's not our wedding anniversary. It's the anniversary of us hiking in the Mineral King Valley for 50 years. When I say that, 50 years. But Robert has been hiking in the Mineral King Valley longer than that. He kind of grew up there. So I thought you'd tell us a little bit about it.
So the Mineral King Valley is in what is now Sequoia National Park. For many years it was in Sequoia National Forest. Disney tried to build a ski resort up there. There was litigation that ultimately failed. And in order to stop Disney from developing the area, Congress put this remote kind of corner of Sequoia National Forest, attached it to the park. So we have a cabin up there that was up there long before this was in the park, and we are what is known as inholders in the Sequoia National Park.
So we actually own the land that our cabin sits on.
And the Mineral King Valley, where our cabin is located, is just spectacular because it is a glacial valley. It was carved by a glacier. It has a very dramatic U shape, which is very typical of a Swiss alpine valley. In fact, we have a friend who says it reminds him of Switzerland every time that he goes there. So the valley floor is at about 8,000 feet. And then there are a series of scalloped basins, also created by glaciers, at about 10,500 feet, which contain about 15 or so different lakes, all of which are within a one-day hike. And Jill and I have been, I think, to essentially all of the...
He's been to all of them. I've been to most of them.
I think we've been to all of them, and even some of them that don't really even appear on a map, but that's a time for a different story.
Not a good story.
So we... over the weekend, just simply walked up the valley floor from about 8,000 feet to roughly 8,500 feet.
And the reason he knows that is because we have Apple Watches that tell you what your elevation is. I'll tell you about that in another video.
And when we started the hike, it was about 32, 33 degrees, although overnight it had gotten down to about 25 or so, maybe a little bit less. And so you'll see in the video as we start, we're crossing little streams that had frozen overnight.
Now the first one was Crystal Creek, right?
Crystal Creek, which is a little creek that comes out of the Crystal Lakes. And then we went up further to Franklin Creek, which comes out of the two Franklin Lakes. And that's where we saw most of the video. And as you'll see, part of the creek, which is still running fairly well, was frozen over in a particularly spectacular way.
We had to ford it. We had to ford the creek to get to the other side so we could have lunch in the shade. It was really such a wonderful adventure and a lovely 50th anniversary hike with my favorite buddy.
Go to your left a little bit. It's a little shallower. Okay, now come straight across. Go ahead. Just step right here. See where the water's flowing?
Yeah.
It's shallow there, and then step on that ice patch on the other side.